Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve our skillrack daily challenge using Python programming language. Before going to logic, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, then subscribe right now and make our work more meaningful.
Let us solve today's DC using Java programming language. The program must accept n transaction of bank account. Each transaction has a prefix and a plus, which is credit, or minus, which is debit. Initial balance of an account is 1000. For each transaction, if the amount to be credited is greater than 1000 means 10,000 means we have to print max credit exceeded, else the amount will be credited to the bank account and updated balance should be printed. If the amount to be debited is greater than balance means we have to print insufficient balance. Else the amount should be deducted and the updated balance should be printed. The program must accept n transaction of a bank account. Each transaction has a prefix plus for credit or minus debit. Initial balance of an account is 1000. For each transaction, if the amount to be credited is greater than 10,000 means we have to print max credit exceeded. Else the amount will be credited to the bank account and updated balance should be printed. If the amount to be debited is greater than 1000 means we have to print insufficient balance. That is, the debited amount is greater than balance, so we are printing insufficient balance. Else the amount should be deducted and the updated balance should be printed. Now let us consider for our test case. This is our first test case. Let us have initial balance as 1000. Now in our first transaction, we are crediting 500. So let us add 500 to the balance. So now the updated balance is 1500. So 1500 will be printed. Next we are debiting minus 2000 here. So if we debit minus 2000, we get minus 500. So it is not possible. So insufficient balance will be printed. Now next we are crediting 2000. So our limit is up to 10,000. So if we add 2000 to our balance, our updated balance is 3500. So 3500 will be printed. Next, plus 14,000, but our limit is 10,000. So max credit exceeded. Max credit limit exceeded will be printed. Next, we are debiting minus 1000. So if we debit minus 1000 from balance, it becomes 2500. So 2500 will be printed. This is our required output. Now let us consider for our last test case. In this test case, let us have the initial balance as 1000. So first we are debiting minus 1000 here. So 1000 minus 1000, the balance becomes 0. So 0 will be printed. Next we are crediting 10,000. Our limit is also 10,000 here. So the updated balance is 10,000 and 10,000 will be printed. Next we are debiting minus 10,001. So which is minus 1. So insufficient balance will be printed. Next we are crediting 10,001, which is not possible. So max credit limit exceeded will be printed. This is our required output. For this program, we have to create our own exception. We have to create our own exception in Java. Now let us solve our DC using Java. This is our public class hello, and this is the main. We are getting n as input for n transactions, and we are assigning balance as 1000, and we are iterating over the for loop and getting the transaction as input. First we are getting the character type and amount, and here is the try block. Inside this try block we have our conditions. If transaction is of plus type means it is credit, so we are checking our condition. If amount is greater than 10,000 means it will throw a new exception called max credit limit exceeded exception with the argument max credit limit exceeded. So after this exception is called, it will come to the catch block and print the get message here. If this condition is not satisfied means the amount will be added to the balance and the updated balance will be printed. And in the elif, if the transaction type is negative means we are checking our condition if amount is greater than balance. So if this condition satisfies, it will throw a new exception called insufficient balance with argument insufficient balance, and it will come to the catch block and print the message. Else it will deduct the amount and print the balance. Now we have to write our own exception class in Java. So and we have to construct a constructor. So let us copy class max credit limit exceeded exception extends exception. As it is an exception with argument, so we are using extends exception. and inside it we are creating a constructor public max credit limit exception with the argument max credit limit exceeded, that is string. So public max credit limit exceeded exception, argument string yes, and inside it let us have super yes. The super is nothing but it is a cell in the exception class which comes to the catch block, and it will print the message E, get message E, so that we are using super here. Similarly for another exception, that is insufficient balance, and here also insufficient balance and string s and super s. So this is our code.